Yo, family.
Welcome back. Sorry, that was awful. Welcome back to the Lifted Lifestyle Podcast, episode 17. Always get this wrong. 17
or 18.
Yes, we've had a good week back at it, really. Post Prague Rooney.
Yeah, back on the grind.
I've had a really good week of training, actually. Probably could have put on about 3 kilos, but
yeah, and been sleeping 14 hours a night.
I don't know what's been going on with that, but we'll survive.
Yeah.
How's yours been? All right?
Yeah, good. Even though my main training partner's just been ditching me.
Yeah. I've got this issue with my phone. It's definitely my phone's fault. And it's alarm's not going off. Don't know why.
Fucking sound.
Probably because I don't turn it on or something.
Very pretends to turn his alarm on at night.
I do often subconsciously smash snooze as well. You know, when you wake up and you don't really know you're awake.
Yeah, I was doing that this morning.
Yeah.
Just like.
But that happens to me pretty much every winter. I find it
summer's so
hard.
easy.
Yeah.
But winter it's so different. I know compared to 2 months ago, we were getting up easily at like 5 and going to the gym.
I did I'm pretty sure I posted it onto the lap. I did like a winter routine
I think
video.
you did. Yeah.
And the hard thing is, it's hard to get it good.
Yeah.
Because if you do want to get your like sleep routine really good, you've got to wake up really early.
Yeah, it's one of those things like taking that first step.
Yeah.
You've actually got to. There's nothing you can do to start it off.
Yeah.
You just actually have to do it.
And then also at winter, it's quite nice to just like sit in the lounge, put on some TV at night.
Just chill out.
But then all of a sudden you're like watching 4 episodes rather than 1.
Yeah, and it's like 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, great.
Yeah. There's no chance you're waking up at 5 then to get the sunrise or whatever.
I think as well that if you do get into the routine of it, like I got back into it, and then we went to Prague, so I had a couple of days where I didn't, and then I came back and I could not get up again.
It's so much easier to fall out of it, isn't it, than get into it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try. Now I've got my Lumi alarm clock coming.
Yeah. So just for context, the meet time at the gym this morning was 7:30. By 7:30, me and Elliot had got to the gym. No sign of HL, not even a peep.
No peep, no message.
We trained, we thought, you know what, he must be really tired, we'll let him sleep. He might just get here halfway through.
Which happens sometimes.
Yeah. Most days. Sometimes. We finished the session, still nothing. Then I get home and he's like, have you two got back yet? It's like, yes, mate. It's 10:30.
Do you know what? When I'm just training with you, there's more pressure because it's like I'm not going to leave him on his own.
Yeah, exactly. Like now it's like, I know I'm going to be still training with someone.
But, oh well, I'll get it unlocked. That Lumi alarm clock should be good though. It's one of them...
I had one, mate. It does nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not a Lumi one. I wasn't paying that much. I spent like 40 quid on one.
To be fair, this one I got from Lumi was like 35.
Was it?
It's like the lower tier one.
Yeah.
But
mine just didn't really help, I'll be honest. Like I used to just wake up and it'd be really bright. I was like, this is going to wake me up. I'd literally just stand up, go to the socket and just pull it out and go back to bed.
It's one of them, as soon as you do that once,
that's it. Yeah, you've got to just get up and just stare at it.
But I did have one, like I think it was from IKEA or something, that was just in my uni house. Someone had left
What, that lit up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, it was a pain to set, so I didn't use it loads, but when I did use it, I did think it helped. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Lumi's going to save me, hopefully. But Christmas is coming round. And actually, the reason why I'm going to talk about this, what belongs at a Crimbo dinner, is I was having a heated debate about this.
With who?
Well, we were talking about I can't remember who it was actually. I was talking about does a Yorkshire pudding belong on a Christmas
is a big
dinner?
one.
Because I saw it on Sheep's story, and then I put the feelers out there to see who does it. And I don't know.
I think personally I'd like one, but I'm pretty sure we don't have them.
No, I don't think I've ever
had
a Yorkshire pudding on a Christmas dinner.
I feel like we should though, because we're from
Yorkshire.
the greatest
It doesn't make
county
sense.
on earth.
But then, like, can you imagine if you're having one Yorkshire, you're having three. Like, let's be
You're not just
realistic
having
here.
one. Yeah,
So can you handle that on top of all the taties?
probably not.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Could be an overload.
Yeah. Yeah, but they do smack. So
It's definitely not. What's the word? What's the word for like classic? You know, it's not
traditional.
traditional. That's the one.
Yeah, it's not traditional at all.
But I could do it.
I think a lot of, when people like they post a Christmas dinner on the story,
Yeah.
like, and I see a lot of people, especially people who live local to us, they do have them.
But then it's
But-
just a Sunday. It's just a Sunday dinner.
Yeah, it's just a Sunday dinner. It's no different.
Yeah.
But then you're just having something that's inferior to a Sunday
exactly.
dinner, and it's going to be better.
Well, most people's Christmas dinners, when they pop them on the story, look pretty washed.
Pretty terrible.
Like,
Looks like I've chefed it all.
yeah. Like they've got Aunt Betty's.
Yeah.
Going on.
Yeah.
Gotta make your own potatoes, surely. One day a year. Yeah, I'd say I'd have it, but I don't think
No,
it's
I
gonna
don't
be
think it
happening.
will happen. No.
Where's your Christmas happening this year?
My house.
Is it?
I get
Any fam? Family lamb.
got my auntie and my uncle and one of my cousins.
That'll be really.
Really enthralling dinner.
I'm off to my grandma's, which is like the world's smallest house.
Yeah, I remember you
In fact,
saying
it's a
the other day,
bungalow, really. Like, I wouldn't be
yeah. Did you
surprised.
say it's like the
if-
size of this room?
genuinely, the actual floor space is probably less.
How are you going to do it? You're going to be like laid on the floor.
It's one of them, like, you go in and there's a little porch, and then the next room is like the dining room, but it's like, okay, there's a table that fits in. Then there's a kitchen, which is just like, there's no other room.
Yeah, and then it's
Apart from the
just a
kitchen.
living room.
Then it's a living room, which is just full of sofas, and then it's a bedroom.
Yeah,
So,
so
like,
there's nowhere to go.
I'm pretty sure we're going to be like snaking into
Yeah.
I'm going to be eating Christmas dinner in a bedroom.
That's good.
Probably.
Could eat it in the bath.
Yeah, that'll do.
Could be
That'd be
quite
quite
exotic,
relaxing.
mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we could do on this pod the 2025 POA, setting out a bit of a timeline for the peeps.
Can we talk about the?
Oh yeah, we can
We
actually.
can, but it won't have launched.
Yeah, well, this will be going out on Friday. Pretty sure it's launched on
18th. Yeah, it
it's
launches
on-
tomorrow.
Oh yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Silly
Yeah,
us.
come on.
Silly me.
So we're running we're calling it the Hangover Hustle 8-week transformation challenge.
I think that name's sick, by the way.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
It's kind of like borderline being a bit sarcastic, but that's kind
Yeah.
of why it's good.
We've had some grief as well from our previous transformation names,
What? Like,
especially off Guy.
what, a shred of
Guy
percent?
loves to take the piss. Yeah,
To be fair, that was a bit of a wash name. Thinking back.
yeah, it was a bit shit, but
I also
what else
shouldn't,
can you call
I
it?
shouldn't have done the AI Santa. That was a bit weird.
But we've learned from that.
Yeah, moving
Trial
on.
and error.
But yeah, Hangover Hustle is you're obviously gonna get flooded with people doing transformation challenges.
Yeah, every coach is going to do one.
Yeah. But we're trying to make it a little bit more
I think the word
looking
is
forward, aren't we? Like,
yeah. It's not about just a new year, new me.
yeah.
Well, it is, but it's about what you're actually trying to lay foundations
Yeah.
in that first 8 weeks of the new year to set you up more. It's more like for summer.
Yeah, yeah. I talked about this on a post that I did recently. I think the reason that a lot of January resolutions fail is because the date that you set to achieve it is like so arbitrary.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to lose 2 stone or whatever by February the 14th.
Yeah, it's like-
great.
Yeah, that's great.
What's that?
Just in time for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, but like that, the reason why it fails is because you do week 1, maybe you're doing quite well.
Yeah.
Week 2 comes around, you have a bit of a shocker, and then suddenly you're like, oh well, I'll just push that date back a bit.
Yeah.
Let's just do it for March instead. Oh, didn't quite. Let's do it for April
Yeah,
instead.
you just keep going throughout the year.
And then all of a sudden you're a month away from summer, thinking, well, this has had a shocker.
Yeah,
Like,
which is, you know how you said people set that goal of like February?
yeah,
Like, yeah, they want it there because they want to be there before summer,
yeah,
which is what we're trying to do within this
yeah,
sort of I keep calling it a coaching program and then a transformation challenge.
same
Just
thing.
whatever, innit?
Same.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if you understand that to get to where you want to be in summer, it can't. It can, if you've already got a decent amount of muscle.
Yeah.
Sure, you could start 12 weeks out from summer, be in a pretty good spot. But for most people, their like ideal summer rig can't be achieved in 2 months, 3 months.
Exactly. Most people don't realise they're not going to look like, even like me and you, they're not going to look like us. Just if you've never been to the gym and you just start 8 weeks before you go on holiday, whatever,
And
it's just not going to happen.
Sure, you could lose. Like we'll be doing a summer transformation challenge, and you could quite. I mean, we had plenty of lads losing 10 plus kilos in the last one.
Yeah, definitely.
But the best results were from the people that had already had some training experience before.
We didn't do a New Year's thing last year, did we?
No.
I don't know why we didn't. I think we just didn't plan.
We weren't very organised.
Yeah, we just weren't organised with it.
Yeah.
But this year we've been incredibly organised.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone that comes on, we'll set out the 8 weeks for you, but it'll be more also looking forward, setting out a timeline for 6 months in advance.
Yeah, it's that.
So we can map it out for you.
It's obviously from like a business point of view for us, that's what we want. We want people to stay on.
Yeah.
But it's not just that. It is actually that like people need to see more of like a long-term goal.
Yeah.
Because like, again, 8 weeks, like you can do a decent amount, but you're not going to be where you want to be in 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's what to everyone who signs up, I'm not going to like bullshit them. Like we've done reels where we said, I'm not going to bullshit you and say you're going to be in like your dream position after 8 weeks, because you're just not. So,
I think for a lot of people, they could be in the best shape that they have been in.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be
where
like
they want
some
to be.
sort of magical potion.
No.
Where you're just going to gain 10 kilos of muscle and
lose
get
10
peeled.
kilos of fat. Yeah, you're not going to look like you're a fucking IFBB pro.
Yeah, I think realistically, 8 weeks, if you dialed in, you could push to 8 to 10 kilos of body fat loss.
Definitely, but you've got to do that. You have to be like laser focused.
Yeah. So, why don't we set out, just to give people a bit of a idea, a little timeline for. I know we've done this before, but we can do an updated version for 2025.
Yeah.
So, let's say most people got a holiday in July, sometime around then.
Yeah, I'd say like midsummer, July, August sort of time.
So that gives us January, February, March, April, May, June, July, 7 months. There's probably 2 different positions that people in, aren't there?
Again, this is where it's tough for the people who want to start in New Year, is because it's like, okay, I could diet now, and you might need to diet now.
Yeah.
But then if you've got a big chunk of body fat to come off, you've then got like a middle ground.
Yeah.
And it's very hard then to sort of decide what to do.
Yeah.
I think for me, for just like your average person, let's say they're not like stupidly overweight and they haven't got that much muscle, I think the best thing to do would be sort of to split it up into 2 diets.
Yeah.
That's what I'd do. So you'd probably look to be pretty aggressive straight away.
In the 8 weeks,
the 8 weeks, yeah. And then after that, spend time actually like progressing your training.
Yeah.
Trying to eat more food when you can. And then looking to go back into a diet.
Yeah.
But it is a tough one, because again, you're not going to be doubled in size after 3 months of gaining.
Yeah.
Which is where you have to be honest with people.
Yeah.
I think a lot of coaches probably tell lies.
Yeah, definitely.
Like they like sell like the client a dream.
Yeah.
It's just not true.
I appreciate.
Which I don't get.
I get it. I appreciate the like. Okay, lose 5 to 10 kilos in X days. Okay, doable.
Yeah.
When people say put on 5 to 10 kilos of muscle in 90 days, it's like
that's like literally impossible.
Who's
it's
doing
just
that?
not going to happen.
Unless you're blasting steroids.
Yeah, exactly. After that fucking 8 weeks, you're probably dead anyway from how much you've blasted. So
that's all right. Jacked up. So
sound. Not going to fit in a coffin.
Yeah.
Sound.
I think I'm running a similar structure with Dan.
Yeah.
Where
but again, Dan probably started at a good time, because now he's wrapped up that diet.
Yeah.
I think he has. From what I've gathered. So he's actually got time now to build muscle. Yeah. Again, it might still not going to be long enough to see huge differences. Yeah. But if it's his first actual structured gaining phase, he probably will see.
Yeah, it's promising because in the diet, we actually only had to lose 5 kilos, but it looks like he's lost a lot more.
Yeah.
Because he's definitely gained muscle throughout that bit.
Yeah.
So it should be nice to see what happens when he's actually feeding himself.
It's always such a good feeling, isn't it, when you have a client that loses body fat and does gain muscle.
It's like, you know, Will Joyce that did the summer. Like, that transformation is mental. Yeah. He literally went from looking like a little boy to like
actually looking really good.
And I think he pulled off 5 kilos, but it looks like he's gained a lot of muscle throughout that.
It's not even like some magic thing.
Yeah.
It's literally just actually getting your training good.
Yeah.
Nailing your nutrition. If you've never done that before, and you start doing it, you're going to blow up. Not blow up, but you're going to make...
You're going to literally explode.
Yeah, you'll see huge progress, man.
But to be fair, I think with him, it was like... We didn't just gloss over that whole priming phase.
No.
Which is quite easily done. You're sort of like, oh, you know, sleep's decent. Yeah, your nutrition's good enough. Let's start trying to lose some tin. But like, we actually got things in place with his sleep, which was tough because of his work.
Yeah.
And then once we got that in and his training was good, it was like such smooth sailing. Barely had to make any changes, and it was just like, bosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, let's go for a person that's similar to like Dan's position now then, where you've not
now?
Now.
Right.
So you've not got a load of body fat, needs to gain a bit of muscle, but also, you know, might be doing another little diet pre-summer to clean it up a little bit. So starting from 6th of Jan, which is the first Monday. That's when the HH starts, by the way, for the early bird peeps.
Sign up.
Link below.
Yeah, it's so tough, isn't it? Because it is so person dependent.
Yeah.
Like, but I think for like Dan, if we're talking, let's just keep using Dan as an example. Like, again, you'll probably notice now that you just are going to probably be able to keep adding food, and again, because he's never had that structured gaining phase, his training's just going to get better. His body weight probably won't even move that much, but his actual like physical look will change massively.
I mean, we're already up to like 3,000 calories.
Yeah, exactly. He's been in a gaining phase for like 2 weeks. Exactly. Like, it really is like quite easy when you've not had that structure before. To like make a good amount of progress. Yeah, I think if you wanted to get the ball rolling pretty quick from that get-go with the whole priming stuff, I think you sort of just want to go and get quick results. So that first few weeks, it is going to be a bit like, right, let's get your nutrition sorted ASAP. Yeah.
So that you get the get your training good, and alongside like the first few weeks just trying to get your sleep good, etc.
Yeah.
So I'd spend the first 2 weeks doing
like actually nailing all your variables.
Yeah, just gradually working through different habits that's gonna stack up later down the line. And then again, if you're not too fat right now, you need to gain some muscle. I think realistically, you want to be pushing up until maybe 2.5 months out from your holiday.
Say August.
Yeah.
July, June, maybe like May.
Yeah.
May time.
Around about May. So that gives you January, February, March, April, May, sort of 4.5 months.
That's a good amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
You will be able to gain a reasonable amount of muscle across that.
I think as well is, for those kind of people, is try not to focus on the scales.
Yeah, it's easily done, isn't it?
Yeah, you can like not see your scale weight moving much, and people start thinking, oh, well, I can't be gaining muscle.
Yeah.
But it is all in that sort of like recomping phase. Because like even Dan now, he's probably still going to like recomp.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he's still in that like early stages of being structured.
Yeah, especially with his training game. And we go on about it all the time, but like...
It's the most important thing.
If I, 2-3 years, 4 or 5 years ago, I'm sure you can probably agree, we probably both thought our training couldn't be much better.
Yeah.
But
like when we were training in the garage, I was like, yeah, we are like
we're so
nailing
good.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's just not true. Like, don't convince yourself that your training is really good, because, put it frankly, it's probably not.
Yeah.
Sure, there might be a few of you watching that is good, but it is probably not that good.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time you think you're training hard, but then not really.
Yeah. I know this sounds like really state the obvious and like stupid, right? But even now, like my thoughts when I go into the sets now are, if I can like actually fail safely, just keep going.
Yeah, I know.
Like I literally think now, when I think I'm at the end of my set, I'm like, just don't stop until you actually can't move another rep.
Yeah.
That's what I say to my clients is like, this sounds stupid and really state the obvious, but the best way of like actually gauging failure is just don't stop.
Yeah. Like, how many times have you been in a set and almost convince yourself that
you're failing?
You failed
just because you're getting like slightly slower reps.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, that might have been my last rep, but there's not going to be any harm in going for another. I think, especially if you're training on your own and you go for that next rep, and let's say you finish like half of the concentric, you're still not going to get like all people are like so obsessed with like fatigue and stuff.
Yeah.
You're not going to get like a huge build up of fatigue.
Yeah, no.
Like, there's probably times with us where we would go for that rep and we'd like take that force rep.
Yeah.
Like that is when you do get battered and it does add up.
Yeah, but I think without putting the feelers out to test that, you're never going to know.
You're never going to know, so you might as well do it.
That's my issue with like people that program RIR training for people that don't have sort of five years of experience, because you say, okay, I want this to be 2 RIR.
It's impossible to tell.
It's just not 2 RIR.
Yeah.
It's probably 5. It's probably 6.
I remember doing that in like pump sessions before my show.
Yeah.
It's like, I finished my set and I was like, that was not 2 reps in reserve. That's why I don't really like that approach.
Yeah.
I'd rather just just reduce my volume, but still train.
Yeah, I think the only time where I'm like pretty accurate in judging my RIR is if I'm doing a deload and I'm doing 1 set and I just do my back off rather than my top set, but match reps. Because then it's like, okay, I'm not tired from the first set that I didn't do.
You're not got any fatigue.
That's the only time it's actually that accurate.
Yeah.
So yeah, really train harder.
Yeah.
So they've pushed through the little gaining phase, 4.5 months ish. They are in January, February, March, April.
I was thinking in that time you should just look to gain maximum like 4 kilos.
Yeah, because that puts you in a really nice touching distance, doesn't it? And that then gives you 2.5 months pre-holiday, wherever you're going, hopefully somewhere sunny, which you can then really easily pull off whatever you've put on.
Yeah.
And
even when you get back to that body weight that you started, you're going to look miles better.
Yeah. So then I think realistically, you'd want, if you do have 2.5 months pre-holiday, you'd probably want to go for 2 months. Pulling
down, yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than going on holiday. You finish your diet the day before,
and you're like flat as a pancake. You're absolutely battered. Yeah. And you're like, shit.
You only start looking good on the last day of your holiday when you've been scratching loads.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because people do think they need to diet right up until the holiday. Yeah. But I agree. I think you definitely want to give yourself like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
To not be feeling like poo.
Yeah. So that's a pretty good timeline if you're kind of bit skinny fat right now. You know, you've not got loads of body fat, but you also not got loads of muscle.
Yeah.
4.5 months gaining. Get really strong. 2.5 months. 2 months pulling it off, and then you've got sort of 2 weeks pre-holiday to
just like sort of reverse into it.
Yeah, get full as frick, man.
Yeah, get dense.
So what about if you're fat?
So what it'll be? You've
had a heavy Christmas dinner.
Yeah,
you've gone full send.
We're talking like you got 20+ kilos to lose.
Yeah, you're a big man ting.
I honestly think the best thing to do is just gradually pull down.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like new to the gym.
Yeah.
New to like tracking your nutrition, things like that. I think the best option is try not to go balls to the wall straight away. Unless you know you've got the discipline to do it, which realistically, no offense, you probably haven't.
Yeah.
Then
it's just like any other January where you do well for a couple of weeks and then
you slam yourself for 2 weeks and then you just knackered.
And I know that's the boring thing to say. Like,
Yeah.
But you
And
can.
everyone wants the results quick, but they need to realise that
Yeah.
if you want to get them quick, you're definitely more likely to fall off.
Yeah. And I think if you do it properly, 0.5% to 1% a week, pulling off your body weight, 12 weeks in, you'll be like, that actually feels like I've made a lot of progress quite quickly. But if you start to trying to pull off multiple kilos every week, you'll be a couple of weeks in, you'll sack it off, and then after that 12 weeks, you'll be in a much worse position.
Yeah, than you were if you were just to go nice and slow.
And some people can probably get away with it if you've got a bit of experience, like really hammering it, but is it worth it?
And again, I think if you've got 20 plus kilos to lose, you probably don't have the experience there to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I also think if you go for that like slower rate of loss, it's going to help you as well to just sort of like build the foundations in training as well. Rather than just losing loads of body weight, your training is just going to get worse.
Yeah. This puts it into really good perspective. So I had a client, Chris. I don't know if you saw that testimonial that I put on my story the other day. He was in a position where like he had a lot of body fat to lose, to a point where it's like, okay, like health is the actual priority here. And we didn't try to go rapid.
No, it does.
1% a month, and about a year on now, he's lost 50 kilos.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is mental.
It's because it's way more maintainable
and
sustainable. That's probably the right word.
Yeah.
Than trying to slam yourself.
Yeah.
And it is hard because I think if I was in that position, you're sort of so desperate to make a change that you feel like you need to slam yourself to get where you want to be.
Yeah.
But as we said, you're not going to be able to keep it up.
But also going really ham is what causes people to get to like, okay, you're eating 1.4, 1.5 and not losing weight.
Yeah.
It's probably because you're absolutely battered.
Yeah.
So be aggressive, but don't be stupid with it.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that, again though, like if you're someone who does want to see some pretty quick results in that first 8 weeks, you probably could be reasonably aggressive.
Yeah.
And you could almost split it up into like 2-3 parts.
Yeah.
So you could have 8 weeks of being really aggressive, then 3 weeks where you might pull back to maintenance for a bit.
Yeah.
And then be aggressive again. You could do it like that.
Yeah.
But I think for most people, just seeing a gradual loss it's going to be more beneficial. But if you are wanting to see like quick changes, then then quick changes again.
That's not a bad option.
You could do that.
As long as you've got structure to it. Yeah, I think it's easy to like go ham, put it on pause for a bit, and then the pause just turns into putting a load of tin.
And you do need that accountability there.
Yeah.
And that's not even just like trying to plug coaching. Like, it's true, you need...
Yeah, even if it's just like whoever you train with or whatever.
Yeah.
Like sending your body weight to your mate or whatever it might be. Because
it's so easy if you plan in like that maintenance phase to just be like, I don't actually need to be dieting here. I'm just going to eat loads of shit.
Yeah.
That just causes unhealthy relationships with food and
so putting together the timeline then, January the 6th, I think that's quite a good plan, to be fair, going sort of 8 to 12 weeks pulling off.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you start feeling a little bit run down, training starts to go a little bit worse, energy's a bit low, hit up a little 2 to 3 week maintenance block, and then that gives you sort of, what would it be? 2 to 3 of them dieting cycles. And if you do it properly across that time, if you've got this amount of body fat to lose, you could lose 20 kilos before.
Yeah, I think pretty easily.
Before summer, like, you'd be
you've got to think
fine.
Within that first 8 weeks, if you have got a lot of weight, you can probably pull off 10 plus kilos.
Yeah, I mean, if you split it into 3 8-week blocks, so 6 months total dieting, and that would be June, which then gives you 1 to 2 months of maintenance, which divided by 3, you could do like 2 to 3 weeks of maintenance blocks 3 times.
Yeah.
You could quite easily go like, okay, first 8-week block, pull off 10, second 8-week block, pull off 6 to 8, third 8-week block, pull off 4 to 6 kilos.
You'd be sound.
And that would put you in a pretty awesome position.
You got to think that it sounds like a long time, but that is not a long time.
No. We were saying, weren't we, like our summer holidays are going to come so quickly.
Yeah, because we were both sat there like, I can't deal with this anymore.
Yeah.
But it feels like we were there 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know. How quick has that gone? what,
We're in the
6 months.
Caribbean with Fred
I know.
basically a year ago.
Yeah. Start getting itchy feet, man. Take me back.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, like then you use that structure to go with. If you've not got 3 blocks worth to pull off, then just take one away and do 2 lots of 8 weeks, or do 1 lot of 8 weeks, and then you can start.
It is
trying
easy
to
to
put on
make
some
the
muscle.
manipulations as well.
Yeah.
But again, this is where it is good to have someone there. Again, it doesn't have to be a coach, just someone else who can give you like that second eye.
Yeah.
You can easily make manipulations.
And if you've not got that, just make sure you've got a structure to follow, and not necessarily, not even a training structure or nutrition structure, like an actual, okay, this is my 6 months and this is what I'm going to do throughout it. Or else you just, what's the saying? Throw in some at, I can't remember the saying.
I don't know where you're going with this one.
Throwing darts at, anyway, you know what I'm saying.
We get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Again, it all comes back though to just having that goal in place.
Yeah.
And again, because if your goal is to lose 20 plus kilos, right, that's quite a long goal.
Yeah.
Like the time frame is obviously going to be pretty long. So I think you do need to sort of set smaller milestones within that. Like we said, within those like blocks of dieting, just set yourself milestones to work towards.
To make it relatable, doing it without a timeline is like saying, I'm going to run a marathon in summer, and to get there, I'm just going to run.
Yeah.
Okay, you might get a bit better at running, but it's definitely not going to be the best way.
The best route to go down.
What you actually might do if it was that case is like, okay, in 2 months I'm going to try and do a 10k. In 3 months I'm going to try and do a 15k, and you build on it like that. So just make sure you've got a timeline and then stick to it.
Yeah, it's just about those 1% every day.
Yeah,
stacking up.
So I think that gives at least 2 timelines that people can follow depending on their position, and then obviously if you're somewhere in the middle of those 2 positions, just adjust it a little bit depending on how much body fat you got to lose.
And if you need extra help,
hangover hustle, man, it'll sort you out. And if it doesn't, we're doing a little guarantee where we just send you your money back because I mean, we're not going to send you money back because it's going to work, but
there's literally no way it can't work. If you're willing to learn, put the effort in, there's physically no way that you won't see some form of result.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, you don't spend any money and nothing happens.
Yeah.
But like I say, we've never actually had to do that before, because I actually can't think of one person that we've coached that it's not worked for. Can you?
Well, we've never had to send money back to anyone.
No, I actually
if
can't
it hasn't
think of a single
worked, it's
person.
because, no offense to the client, but because they've not been willing to put the effort in. Like we always say this, right? Just because you've got a coach doesn't mean you automatically make progress.
Yeah.
It is literally like a partnership.
Yeah.
It's not like a one-man thing. It's got to be sort of 50. It literally is 50-50.
But can you actually think of someone that's been with you for, let's say, more than 3 months that's not ended up with the results that they wanted?
No.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's good.
100% success rate.
Yeah. We're cracked.
Yeah. Do you want to leave it there?
Yeah. You want to give an update on anything?
Update on me. Kind of getting a bit stronger.
Yeah.
And a little bit fatter at the same time. Vibes.
Yeah. Same here. Enjoying ourselves, enjoying life.
Yeah.
Enjoying training.
Looking forward to a crimbo.
Yeah.
Have
I'm
you
buzzing for the new year. That's what I'm excited now for sort of December to be out of the way.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm not
Kinda
excited
tick
for
the box.
Christmas, but it's sort of like, okay,
Yeah.
let's just get it out of the way now and get.
Yeah, there's a lot of like socials coming up for me.
Yeah.
Have you got many over sort
I've
of
got
Christmas?
quite a few, coming up. I'm going to my brother's on Thursday.
Yeah.
Getting inked up tomorrow.
Yeah, inked up.
Going
Have
blooming.
you decided what you're getting yet?
I've got a few ideas. I'll save it for next pod.
Oh, yeah.
Tattoo reveal on the next pod. Going out on Friday. Are you coming?
This Friday?
Yes, Friday night.
That'll be interesting. So
Mad Friday, mate. You got to go out on Mad Friday.
Currently, I'm going to this old Sav's dinner thing in Wakefield.
Right. What time does that finish?
Well, I think it starts at like 5, 6. So I've got a decision to make whether I go out in Wakefield, but currently I don't have anywhere to stay or
Wakefield's
a route back.
dead, man.
Yeah.
Went through that on the train the other day. I was like,
Yeah, it's pretty
this
pretty
is
hanging.
shit hole. No
Yeah.
offense to anyone.
It was funny last year though, because we all had like tucks on.
Yeah, and you're out in like mucky Wakefield.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, get yourself to Borcham, mate. That's where it's at.
But you know, on the way back last year, I was on the train. I didn't bring spare clothes because I didn't know I was going to be staying, and then it just ended up I just stayed at someone's house.
Yeah.
And I was on the train on the way back, and I forgot to buy a ticket, and it was literally like £2 or something. And there's all these people walking through. The people didn't stop them or anything, didn't ask for them for a ticket, and then they asked me if I had my ticket, and it was definitely because I had a tux on.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at this
guy.
posh guy wearing a tux.
Take some money off him.
Yeah. So the guy stopped me. He was like, "Have you got a ticket?" I said, "Oh no, I forgot to buy one. Sorry, can I pay for it now?" He said,
"Fine."
Well, he was like, "Yeah, no, don't worry, mate. Don't worry. Just have you got your ID?" I said, "Yeah, I've got my ID." "Why do you need my ID?" "Oh, no, don't worry, mate. It's all good. Gave him my ID. Starts putting some things into his computer. I said, "Oh, what are you doing?" He said, "No, don't worry, mate. It's all good. It's fine." And eventually, that kept going on and on and on. And then he gives me this thing, and it's like a fine. And I was like, "Well, it wasn't fine, was it?" Because
nothing's fine about it.
It was literally a fine.
Yeah, literally. It's not fine. It's a bloody fine.
So I got that, and I was like, "Mate, like, I said I'd happily pay for it. I was late for my train, etc. Like, I appreciate, I could have got a ticket on my phone, but I didn't do it." And he said, "No, you've got a fine now, mate." And then there was these other guys that also got stopped, a bloke and his wife or girlfriend or whatever. And I heard the lady just going, "Oh, well, it's okay. Just make sure you get a ticket next time."
Yeah, it just depends on who you get.
And then I said, "Well, how come I've got a fine and they didn't get a fine?" And then they started getting proper arsey with me, going, "Well, it's none of your business.
Really?
Like, do you want us to get the police over it and stuff?" I was like, "What?"
Like, it's a train ticket. I get it. It's their job, right? It is their job. They're probably meant to fine you. But you can't have like one rule for one person and then another ticket person has rules for everyone else.
I said to the guy, like, "Okay, realistically, it's because I'm wearing a suit, isn't it?" And he was like, just getting proper in my face, like having a go at me. It's like, okay, I'll pay the fine, but I feel like it didn't have to go down this route.
Lesson learned, mate. Buy your train ticket.
Buy a ticket, but that annoyed me anyway.
Yeah. Can't remember what I did last Mad Friday. I went out and Guy came.
Oh, really?
Guy came from London, stayed in an Airbnb in Borcham.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Got awfully drunk, and then I ended up staying at Guy's Airbnb, and I could have just gone out.
2 minutes out.
Yeah, I could have just walked out.
Yeah, but you're working, aren't you?
Yeah, till 9.
Yeah,
and then I'll be out.
It might be that I finish the dinner at Wakefield, get the train back, and then come out in Bawtry in a tux.
Yeah.
So
I might get off early, but I think I've got PT till 9 on Friday, so
we'll see.
Peak.
But
yeah, mucky piss up.
Then 2025 is looking pretty large on the old trips away for me.
Yeah, I ain't got anything planned yet.
Have you not? I was trying to work out my calendar. It's like kind of looking a bit of a mazza.
Yeah,
I'm going.
I'd like to go, but it's like probably need to go with my girlfriend. Probably should go away with my girlfriend.
Yeah,
that would probably be a nice thing to do.
Yeah, I think I'm going to see my dad in Hong Kong in April. I'm going to Mallorca with my mum and my dad, I think.
Yeah,
and I've got trying to sort out a holiday with Holly.
Yeah,
in June, and then we've got HVAR in July.
I can't wait for
that. Quad holiday.
Honestly, I'm pretty happy though. If I didn't go away in these winter months, I'm not that bothered.
Yeah,
I'd like to, but I'm happy to just sort of lock in and just dial in.
Yeah. So,
like for you, you're probably at the point where you're like, actually, don't really want to go away this month.
Yeah.
Like, you just feel like because the new year is going to be those first few months of the new year, we are going to be really busy.
Yeah.
It's like you just sort of want to focus on that.
Yeah. As well, I mean, we can do our work anywhere.
Yeah.
But when we're not like, when we can't just be sat in the same room organising stuff, it does make it harder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And even like the pods, pods are awful when you do them online.
We're not doing them online. I refuse to do that again. I'd rather just miss a week.
Yeah, we're going to have to work out the schedule for that, but it might just be that we pre-record a couple in the week, two each week or whatever.
Yeah, we can do that.
But yeah, 2025 should be a good one.
Big year.
Follow that timeline. Sign up for the Hangover Hustle, and yeah, that'll sort your life out probably.
Sound.
See you in a bit.
See you.
Bye.